Previously, I'm embarking on a fairly ambitious new project that I'm calling Loopy Masterpiece Edition. I want to make something amazing, something that you'll be able to base a career on. But I'll need your help, so I'm bringing you in at the ground level. I'm only just getting started. It's not going to be quick, could take 6 months to a year of development time, but it will be special, and it will be community-based, and it's going to be great.
Hi, I wanted to talk to you about effects today, but it turns out it's part of a larger discussion. I think I'll save it for another time. So instead I want to finish giving you this overview of what I've got so far, and I want to talk about bindings, which I've taunted you about on other days. So on the main settings screen, which I've not really shown you yet, there's a tab here called Triggers. So this is what it looks like. You've got the various inputs along here, and the bindings that are set up for those inputs along this side. So it's a little bit like it is in Loopy right now with the MIDI control inputs and the Bluetooth key bindings, but it's all in one. So you see you get the CC here and then the description of the action. So if you hit Add Trigger, the whole settings screen is going to slide out of the way, and you'll see this new Track Actions panel appear along the bottom. So this is completely contextual. So what it does is it enables the rest of the UI in the app, and then you can go and tap on any object, like a track, and it'll give you contextual actions for that object. So in this case we've got track actions because we've tapped a track, and you've got this big list of the different kinds of things you can do to a track along here, and you can scroll that along. Now if you then drill in further, say you bring up the track configuration screen, and then you tap, say you want to tap the quantize setting in the options screen that I showed you yesterday. Then you're going to get controls to adjust the quantize, and that goes for everything. So pretty much anything that you have as a control in the app, that'll have actions that you can add to bindings here. So that includes, the fade setting, it includes overdub after record, anything, which is kind of cool. And then you can tap the full list button here, and you'll get just a scrollable list of things categorized by their objects. So once you select one of these actions, it goes back to this Add Trigger screen and adds the action there to the top of the list. And then you can trigger a event. So you can, press the foot pedal or something, and it will recognize that here. So you'll notice we've got long press here. It's going to understand down, up, long press, and I'm thinking double tap as well on the device. So you can have one trigger that will actually have the capability of doing 4 actions, which could be kind of neat. So you'll notice that this is actually a list, and there's this new action button here. So if you tap it again, you're going to go back to the Track Action screen, and you can add a second action. So what that means is you can actually have sequences of actions performed by the one trigger. You can program it basically. So each of these actions has a set of parameters that you can use to configure. So select track action, for example, here has the track to select. So if you tap that, you get a number of options. So you can have the next track, and it'll move left to right, top to bottom through the tracks. Or you could have a particular track that you select, for example, like track 8, or do it by name. So then you can add another one if you like. You can just keep on adding actions. So something else that you can do is there are these global actions. I've only thought of one so far, but wait, which you can have basically sleep for a certain time interval. So you can set that to the length of a particular track, for example. So you can have a track, for example, unmute, and then wait for one duration, and then mute again. So of course you have one shots to be able to do that, but it gives you an idea of what you can do with tracks. So I think what it's going to allow you to do is configure it to do whatever you want. I mean, I often get a lot of requests for the current version of Loopy for adding particular sequences of bindings, like toggle mute after record and then select the next track, and there's quite a few of those already in there, but I realized along the way that there really needed to be a configuration for this, a way that you could make your own. So this is how you do it. The other cool thing about bindings and triggers is that those switches that I showed you that you can add, the controls that you can add in design mode, that's these things along here, each of those can be bound to one of those triggers. So you can have a button that will do almost anything you want. So it makes Loopy really flexible, and I think I'm pretty excited about it. I love this. So yeah, that's all for now. Next time I'm going to talk to you about audio inputs and outputs and effects. I'm definitely going to need your help there because I do not know how I should make this work. And I've got the failed mock-ups to prove it. So stay tuned next week. It's going to be fun. Cheers. See you later.
I'm embarking on a fairly radical new project that, it's not radical, it's just ambitious.